A woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn. You lost your edge, she lost attraction for you. That's how it works. What'd you think she was gonna do? Tell you she cheated? Men cannot afford to get complacent in relationships. Get your fat ass off the couch, start lifting weights, and learn game. You're welcome.
And now your man,
Donovan Sharpe.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 931st edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of toxic masculinity, misogyny, and small dick energy. It is Tuesday, February 7th of 2023. It is good to have you guys in today, and we are joined by a special guest, Chester. We are joined by a special guest. This little fella here is named Chester. This, of course, is our this is our Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, and it is Chester's birthday today. Chester's birthday today. So happy birthday, Chester. Chester is a very, 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 very sweet dog. Come here, buddy. Ooh, he's a good boy. Chester is he is one of the sweetest. He is the sweetest dog in the world. We love having him. We love having him around. And so to kick off the show, I'm going to do a little bit of a Chester slideshow. We're gonna let me make sure I get him in the shot here. This is where it all started when Chester was a puppy. You guys can see that he is as cute as can be. He was a very cute puppy. He was a very cute and very wild puppy. He was very boisterous, had a lot of energy. He is outgoing. He is gregarious. Never met a stranger. These are just other pictures. This is another picture of when Chester was a puppy. And you can see now he is wrapped with attention because he sees that I have these little pieces of steak. It's the only way I could keep him in the seat. But this is Chester as a puppy. And you can see he is just as cute. He is as cute as he can be. There he is being playful. 9 years old today. I guess that picture was in there twice. 9 years old today. That was, I think he was probably a little over a year old in this picture. Oops, sorry about that. This is a more recent picture, but yes, some of the funnier pictures. Cavalier. So Chester and Daisy, our dogs, are Cavalier King Charles Spaniels. Very, very good. Very, very good companion dogs. They're both just the sweetest dogs in the world. And of course, we all remember this picture. When Chester wasn't not looking at the salad. He wasn't not looking at the salad. Here are some other playful pictures. We stuck a pair of glasses on him. And you can see that, he's very, very playful. He gets into hijinks. He gets into trouble all the time. But in the end, man, he is a wonderful dog, fantastic dog. He loves everybody. Everybody loves him. And this is me and him, I think, a couple of nights ago. So happy ninth birthday. Happy ninth birthday to Chester. We love you very, very much, boy. There's your last piece of steak. We'll see how long. Pardon me. We'll see how long Chester can stay in the seat before he gets restless and leaves. I think when he figures out that there are no more treats coming, I think that's when he will exit stage right. You can actually start to see him. He's already starting to get a little bit restless. So happy birthday to Chester. He is 9 years old. Daisy will actually turn 10 years old in March. I think on March 10th, I think she will be 10 years old. So we will have another sort of mini birthday celebration for Daisy. But just want to shout out to my dog. Dogs are truly, Devin says this all the time, and I think she saw it on a Reddit thread. We don't deserve dogs, man. We really don't. Chester and Daisy, they enrich our lives. They're great. They're great animals. They're very, very sweet. And they love everybody. They really, really do. They get along very well with cats. and they never met they never met a piece of food that they did not like. We never met a piece of food he does not like. So happy birthday to Chester. He's like, dude, don't give me kisses, give me steak. Give me steak, goddammit. We are streaming simultaneously live to YouTube, Rumble, and Sharpe Stream. So however you're watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you for making the Sharpe Reality Live a part of your daily routine. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at Donovan's Den, as well as Instagram at Donovan Sharpe TSR. If you would like access to almost 40,000 hours of exclusive content, which includes more than 20 seasons of dating show breakdowns, head on over and become a member of SharpeStream.com. In addition to all the great content, you will get chat privileges and ad-free on-demand video. Also, make sure you download the SharpeStream app on the App Store for iOS and the Google Play Store for Android, absolutely free, and enable push notifications so you will be notified when I go live on any platform, whether it's my platform or anywhere else. Wait a minute. Chester's distracted me here. Gentlemen, it is no secret that I am a fat ass right now. There's no excuse. There's no getting around it. I got lazy. So what I'm doing is I am live streaming every single work I do over the next 120 days. I will take a picture of myself every day for the next 120 days, and on day 121, I will reveal the time lapse of my transformation and introduce you to the man who made this possible, who, by the way, is Phil Foster. Dude's almost 50 years old and he is shredded to the tits. So go over and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Then go over and subscribe to Donovan Sharpe, etc. if you want to see this transformation happen live and in living color in real time right before your very eyes. Should be a lot of fun. Listen, man, you guys know that I have struggled. I have always struggled with my temper, and that it's got me into serious legal trouble in the past. I didn't want the energy sapping medications, but I had to get my anger under control. So how did I do it? Happy Hippo Kratom from HappyHippoHerbals.com. Guys, I've used Happy Hippo Kratom since 2014. That is almost a decade. And it's helped me tremendously in many areas. Temper control, energy, relaxation, anything you can think of, there is a kratom strain for it. I like to take a kratom shot before working out, and it gives me crazy energy. I will pour a shot into my favorite drink, and I'm able to do 3 to 4 hour live streams. In the afternoons, I like to mix it with tea to give me focus during show prep, but most of the time, I just do the good old-fashioned toss and wash technique. Listen, fellas, Happy Hippo Kratom gives me energy when I need it, and there is zero crash. Then when I need to relax at the end of the day with my lady, I will take a slow strain, and it helps me relax. Happy Hippo Kratom is the highest quality and purest kratom on the planet. It's not close. I have tried them all. Happy Hippo is superior. Not only that, it can replace your coffee habit. It can replace your energy drink habit. It can replace a lot of unhealthy stimulants we put into our bodies every day. If you guys want to feel that same great, sustained, clean energy that I do, go to my affiliate link in the description and get 15% off when you use promo code HTR. Again, that is promo code HTR as in how to relationship. So as you guys know, Devin and I both recently, we were both recently, I want to say, stricken with the disease, 91 DeVock, whatever the case may be. And we have missed, I think, almost a month of bowling. Tonight, that ends. That ends tonight. We are going to be back on the lanes tonight. Unfortunately, our other bowling partner, now he has 91 DeVock. We have fallen all the way into last place. Simply because we haven't been there. It takes our average minus 10. It takes our average minus 10 on the lane. So who knows? Maybe we can make, the greatest comeback ever told. We will see. On that note, today's show is it's going to have to end between 5 and 5:15 so that Devin and I can get to the bowling alley in time. And defend our crown. So today's show is going to be a little bit shorter than normal. Of course, we've got the birthday boy, Chester, in the house. Again, happy birthday to Chester. Chester is 9 years old today. So let's all wish Chester a happy birthday. I'll just go through these pictures one more time before we get started. This is Chester as a puppy. Oops. There we go. There we are. This is Chester as a puppy. This is just kind of him through the years. And yes, Devin named him Chester Copperpot. Chester Copperpot because Devin swears up and down he's a Goonie. Seven swears, are you a goonie? Are you a goonie? Are you a goonie? He's like, I don't know what a goonie is, but I want some more steak. I love it. I love it. Okay. And so to business. You ready for the show, buddy? You ready? See, anytime I have treats in my hand and he thinks I'm about to give it to him, he will bark. But now I don't have anything in my hand. He's got nothing to say. You ready? Okay. All right. Let's get started. I have given the Chester is going to be my guest. He's going to be my guest panelist. We are going to double team the show. You looking good? You feeling good? Okay, very good. And so to business. So Pearl recently did, this is actually a podcast that she did long before, just a few weeks before she came stateside. And so I'm going to react to this video entitled, Do Post-Wall 304s Give Bad Advice? And I can go ahead and spoiler alert. Yep. Yes, they absolutely do. Yep. Chester's looking around like, what in the hell was that noise? Oh, this is funny. Hold up. What was that? What was that?
Oh my God.
What was that?
What the French toast?
What was that? What is that? You know what that is? No? All right. I love my dogs. You can see Chester starting to get a little bit restless. He's starting to get a little bit restless because there are no more treats. All right. Enough lollygagging. Let's get right to it.
Give bad advice, ? So today we are going to be reacting to Mia Khalifa.
Ooh, Mia Khalifa.
Yeah. I think we should just start with the video. I feel like that's the best way to do it. You got to click the sound thing on the, yeah, there you go.
That's not how it was. It wasn't just, hey, do you want to come do porn? It was more so, oh, you're beautiful. Like, would you like to do some modeling?
I'm sorry, I think I sent you the wrong
you have a
clip.
great body. Like, I think you'd be great in nude modeling.
I'm sorry, I think I sent him the wrong clip.
Wait, hold on. It sounds like Pearl said that was the wrong video, but let's listen to what she had to say.
Yeah, I think we should just start with the video. I feel like that's the best way to do it. You got to click the sound thing on the, yeah, there you go.
That's not how it was. It wasn't just, hey, do you want to come do porn? It was more so, oh, you're beautiful. Like, would you like to do some modeling?
I'm sorry, I think I sent you the wrong
you have a
clip.
great body. Like, I think you'd be great in nude modeling.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry, I think I sent him the wrong clip.
So it appears, there you go, buddy. You okay? It appears that Mia Khalifa is trying to almost characterize her entrance into the adult industry as though she were tricked. Like, oh, you're beautiful. You should do modeling. You should do nude modeling. No, Mia Khalifa knew exactly what she was getting into. Like, look, get out of here with that.
Clip. One second.
Look, does she?
Coerced?
Like the way she was, and she sounded like she was coerced into it.
Oh,
Honestly.
there it is.
Coerced?
Like the way she was like, I was told like I was good at modeling, and then it was nude modeling, and then it was porn. Like it sounded like
corn.
Oh,
Yeah.
her corn.
Well, that one escalated.
You know what? It's funny. Oh, my God. I did not know Donovan was going to be on this podcast. Ay, ay, ay. What you guys just witnessed with the girl on the far left in the yellow is that women know when other women are BSing. They know when other women are BSing, y'all. She heard Mia Khalifa try to act like she was somehow coerced. Kyle 2020 says she's acting like Pennywise lured her down to the storm drain. That's exactly right. She's acting like she was tricked into doing adult films. Like they just kind of escalated it little by little, and poor little innocent, naive Mia Khalifa didn't know what was happening. No, sweetie. No, you were a grown woman doing grown woman things on camera. You knew exactly what you were getting into. Every woman knows exactly what they're getting into. It's almost like Mia is trying to make it sound like she was, dare I say, trafficked. I'm not here for that.
Escalated quickly from modeling. I'm not gonna lie.
Different type of modeling.
Sorry, I totally thought that was the other clip. Do you want to just do the Andrew Tate one, and then we'll find the other one?
Okay. We're going to respond to Mia Khalifa. But okay.
Yeah.
When it comes to
the reason 18 and 19-year-olds are more attractive than 25-year-olds is because they've been through less dick. I'll say this right here on the fucking internet. I don't give a shit. People will sit there and go, oh, you can't say that. Yes, I can. A 19-year-old is more attractive than a 26-year-old woman, and I'll tell you why. Because that 26-year-old has talked to more guys, been to the club more times, been more places, been fucked and dumped more times, more arguments, more heartbreak, more bullshit, more mess for me to clean up. Whereas a 19-year-old might have had one guy from high school, just broke up, she's fresh, and I can fucking put my imprint on her and make her a good person, and without her having to go through all that detriment to learn about life.
Okay, so.
Well, hell, Andrew Tate just explained why younger women are typically far more attractive than older women. They've been through a lot less sausage. There's a lot less trauma. There's a lot less experience.
My first question. How old are you, and what age range do you date?
I won't reveal my age, but I can tell.
I won't reveal my age.
You, my most recent ex, I was with him on and off 4 years, and...
Oh, my recent ex, I was on and off for 4 years. That's interesting.
There was a big age difference. I think he was 27 this year. So, yeah, so I would date between mid-20s and I'll go from 25 to 55.
This woman is sitting here. Come here, Chester. Chester, this woman on the screen, this 55-year-old woman, she is acting like she has quality choices in men. She's acting like she has quality choices in men, or in your case, available quality treats. Can you believe that? Chester can't believe it either. This is unbelievable. This woman is going to sit here and tell us that she was on and off in a relationship, and the guy was 27 years old. Now, that I believe. But what kind of 27-year-old are we talking about? This 27-year-old had to be an effing loser. Had to be an effing loser. Had to be a loser. No 27-year-old would seriously date a woman. And she looks older than 55 to me. That's why she didn't that's why she didn't reveal her age. Devin says her age isn't a big secret. Look at her face. That's exactly right. But the guy that she was in an on and off relationship with, 1,000% a loser. Because no man with any worth is going to take a woman that old who looks like that seriously for a relationship. Get out of here. She's sitting here acting like she's still a catch. What are we doing?
20. Wow, that's a huge range.
You're enjoying it.
Yeah, so I can either date you or your dad, or the other way around.
How cute, how funny. I can date you or your dad. Yeah, you know what? You could date me, but you can't date my dad. Listen, you can date my dad, but you can't date me. Hell no.
Wow.
Okay.
I am 29 minus a week. No, 30 minus a week, apologies. And I date probably up to 5 years older than me, max, I think.
So you won't go, like, if a guy's 40, that's too old? He's a fine 40-year-old?
5 years.
Okay. That's a hard no.
Wait, but you also didn't mention younger, though. Like, you just...
I don't... Well,
women typically don't like to date younger men. At least not seriously anyway, right? Women like men who are superior to them. And if a man is superior, like a man who's going to be taller, has himself together, good financial, etc., those men are typically older. Most women are well aware that men when we hit our mid-30s, that's the beginning of our sexual peak. A 35-year-old who has kept himself together made money, made muscles, learned game, and held frame. By the time he gets to 35 years old, he's like an 18-year-old. He's like an 18-year-old girl, an 18-year-old young woman who is just entering into her sexual prime. Drew Dorn with the $2 super chat says, I am 25 and I wouldn't touch that woman. Gross. Yeah, dude. Ugh. Oh, my God. Yeah, she's disgusting. She's disgusting. Unbelievable. Shout out to Dr. Thunder. Shout out to Dr. Thunder in the house, man. I know that there have been some videos circulating about me. I have not watched any of them, except for Dr. Thunder's. Dr. Thunder, I consider him to be a friend and an ally, and I appreciated his objective opinion on the situation. So subscribe to Dr. Thunder. He's a good dude, and he was at the first CME. Hopefully we'll see him at CME 3. But shout out to Dr. Thunder. Let's continue.
Younger, maybe max 2 years younger. Max. It's a tight window for me.
I'm 25. I wouldn't do younger anymore, but max I would do. I think around 30s is good for me.
Okay, that sounds about
Maybe
right.
just a bit over, like 32, 33.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 20. I would date up to 25 just because I haven't got my life sorted yet and I don't want someone that's got everything sorted out yet. Yeah.
Do you hear what she just said? She's like, I'm 20. I'm 20 years old. The oldest I would date is 25 because I don't want to date a man who's got himself together. I'm too young for that. Translation, I want to ride the Sausage Express until my options decline. This is the pervasive mindset of the average rank-and-file modern Western woman. This woman just sat here and told you in no uncertain terms that she wants to sleep around for the next decade plus. We have 330 of you guys in here. Guys, please, please, please like the video. Please like the video. Likes are the most important metric when it comes to getting things into the algorithm. You guys know that my channel is currently under attack. So if we could get this thing as close to 100% engagement as possible, let's try to get me up to 334 likes. I would greatly, greatly appreciate that.
I'm 20 and I would probably date from like 19 to like a hard cap, maybe like 35.
Okay.
I'm 30.
I didn't hear what the hell he said. Hang on a second. Did you hear what he said? I didn't hear him either.
Yeah, I'm 20. I would date up to 25 just because I haven't got my life sorted yet and I don't want someone that's got everything sorted out yet. Yeah.
I'm 20 and I would probably date from like 19 to like a hard cap, maybe like 35.
Oh,
Okay.
35, okay.
I'm 34, and I would say, so my girlfriend, like, she's like mid-20s, so the bottom end would be mid-20s, and top end would be around late 30s, 40, late 30s, 40.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm 29, and the bottom, absolute bottom, is a 90s baby, so 99. And the top end, it just depends on the person and where I am in life.
So 45. You're in? She looks good.
I'll be honest with you. I've seen some. I've seen some. I've seen all sorts that look good. So
Okay. So
Hey, man, dude, my fiance is 46 years old, and she looks damn good.
50, 55. There's got to be a rough cap. I'm just saying a rough cap.
a rough cap.
Yeah, rough cap. Obviously,
rough cap?
J-Lo is an exception.
No, for me, it's a thing. It's a combination of things. Of course, like if I'm in the dating space, and I don't know if she's 50, but she doesn't look like the 50s that society call 50-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm not gonna.
Okay,
not
and so
necessarily write off.
anyone that looks good.
Yeah.
Okay.
But running off what Andrew Tate said, like, doesn't she have too much baggage?
Are we talking about dating or commitment here?
Oh!
Well,
Did you hear that? He said, are we talking about dating or committing? Do you see what just happened here? You see what just happened here? What just happened there? That question that she just asked, well, what about all the baggage? And the guy asked her, you talking about dating or commitment? This again, guys, this is the perfect example of that mentality. Modern Western women conflate sexual market value with relationship market value. We are far less selective with women we commit to than the women we casually date. To casually, dude, the only qualification I need for a woman to casually date or a friends with benefits situation, you just got to look good. You got to look good. I don't care if you have daddy issues. I don't care if you have tattoos. I don't care if you have purple hair. Hell, I don't care about any of that stuff. Man, I don't care if you're a single mom, but dude, doesn't matter. I'm not sticking around. I know that this is only sex, so yeah, I'll smash till the cows come home, but I am not committing to that. But when we say dating, women automatically think that it always escalates to a long-term relationship. Why is that? Because that is every woman's end game, whether she admits to it or not.
So tell me both.
That's a big difference.
Tell me both.
Yeah.
So someone you'd want to take seriously long-term and someone you'd go for short-term.
Someone long term, no. I can't start a family with a 50-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's some 50-year-olds out there, but not for me. It doesn't work for me.
But isn't the aim of dating like long-term relationships, or is it just like kind of?
There you go. Told you. Isn't the aim of dating like long-term relationships? She just contradicted herself, y'all. She just contradicted herself. So now she wants to virtue signal, pull the morality card on this dude who's talking about, listen, I'll smash a 50-year-old, but I'm not going to start a family with a 50-year-old, right? As soon as he says that, as soon as a man talks about his standards, what he will or won't do, here comes the sign language. Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Shout out to Kevin Samuels.
What the French toast?
Shout out to Kevin Samuels. 90 seconds ago, this girl just said the oldest man I would ever date is 25 because, well, I don't want a man who has himself together. Translation, I'm dating to sleep around. So if you can date to sleep around and not be in it for the long-term relationship, or so you say, what's the difference if he decides to do it? You see, do you see women, see again, modern women, they want to reserve the right. They reserve the right, or they want to reserve the right to just date around casually while they expect every man to take them seriously for a long-term relationship.
Fun.
Depends who you ask them.
I don't personally date for fun. Yeah. I do commitments. So
yeah, I date for fun. Before I got with Devin, I dated for fun. There's nothing wrong with that. She just admitted that she dates for fun, and now he's like, well, I never date for fun. No,
Stop the cap.
He absolutely does. He's a good-looking dude. Look, he looks tall. Why not?
If I'm looking to get married to someone, then I'm going to be thinking about my family and who I can build something with.
Yeah, so like you'll enjoy being with a 50-year-old and like exchanging conversation, but like you wouldn't, like it wouldn't be serious. Do you know what I mean? Like it would just be kind of, I don't know, like understanding them, meeting them, but not like, it would never be long term, yeah.
Maybe a little kiss here and there.
Yeah.
No, I feel like just for the purpose of the question, it's just purely for the purpose of the question, but I think if it came to a commitment scenario, couple years above me at most, but I'll probably look down as opposed to up.
Yeah, fair enough. That's just how I view dating. Like I view it as something that like I'm always seeing if you could fit into my life like long term, because otherwise.
This woman, again, there she goes with another contradiction. Again, this is virtue signaling. I don't date casually. I try to see if you can fit into my life long term. So if you really are looking for a man to fit into your life long term, then why is the oldest man you date 25, and why was the reason that you don't want a man who has himself sorted? You don't want a long-term relationship with a guy who doesn't have himself sorted out. You don't want a long-term relationship with a man who doesn't have himself together. So once again, she's contradicting herself while also virtue signaling.
Otherwise, it's just going to hurt my feelings.
Yeah, I think that's typically more of a female view.
Yeah.
Can I qualify my answer that I just gave based on what you said? Go ahead. So like the upper end, I literally just said 40. Like romantically, if you look good, there's no reason why it can't even be beyond 40. The only reason why I cap it at 40, because I presume you're probably in a different stage of life that I'm in, and there might be a lifestyle mismatch. That's the only reason. But even then,
That makes sense.
I could discover that's not the case, and then I'd be willing to. As long as you look good to me, I'm still attracted to you. We're all good.
Sorry to interrupt, but I think age is irrelevant. I mean, there's a limit to what I would go down to. See, 25 is.
Wait a minute. She just said age is irrelevant, and then literally in the same breath, 25 is the lowest I would go down to. Yeah, that's cute of you to say. Of course, age is irrelevant to you because you're 50 frickin' 5. You're 50 frickin' 5. Guys, I get so tired. I get so tired of these old maids who want to shame men for wanting to date younger women. Talking about, well, you know, you need to have something to talk about. Age is just a construct. No, age is very, very much real. There is a big difference between a 55-year-old and a 25-year-old. 3 decades, as a matter of fact. That's not a social construct. That's mother freaking nature.
The lowest I will go. But I think you could be, this is from a woman's point of view to men, you could be missing out from a really great woman just because you put these restrictions on ages.
5 years old. What could you possibly offer a man at 55 years old? A man of value. Let's get that right. A man of value. We're not just talking about any old man. No. We're talking about men of value. So here we go. Now she's shaming men. Well, you could be missing out on a good woman. Really? Really? At 55 years old, I think I'm pretty confident in saying that when she was in her late teens, early 20s, she probably dated older men as well.
You know, it's popping out babies. It might be, you might find the woman, the love of your life they could be any age. You don't have to be popping babies out, but you could miss out for amazing long, lifelong partner.
Oh my God, this is absolutely ridiculous. Now, listen, guys, listen, I'm a little different. That doesn't make me special. I have never wanted kids. I have never, ever wanted kids. Devin, if you would, Devin, come on up and get Chester. He's starting to get restless. I'd appreciate that. But I've never wanted children. I have never, ever wanted children. Right? I don't know what the reason is. It's just I've never wanted children. That's one of the many reasons that I'm with Devin now. I don't want kids. Never have, never will. My legacy is what I'm doing right now. Wanting to have children and a legacy, there you go, buddy. Happy birthday. Wanting to have children and a legacy is almost, as far as I'm concerned, is almost directly correlated with living on. Oops. Oh boy. Sorry, Joker. Is really having something that represents you that lives on past your natural life, right? How will you be remembered? Well, most people will be remembered, family, friends, etc. Right? Well, whether I have children or not, and I'm never, ever going to have children. Let's get that right. Long after I'm gone, people will still remember who I was. That is my legacy. And the fact that I've started this whole podcasting thing and influencer thing, that has strengthened my resolve to not have children. Man, don't you want to have kids of your own? No, I do not want to have kids. I do not want children. Never have, never will. That being said, most men are not wired that way. Most men have the inherent biological desire to pass on their genes. So she can talk all she wants to about, well, maybe you can meet a 55-year-old woman and have a lifelong blah, 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 blah. Okay, listen, is that possible? Absolutely. Is it likely? Nope. See, women base their reality on possibilities rather than probabilities. That's the kind of bitch babble we've got going on here.
restrictions. That's just my personal point of view.
But you kind of contradicted yourself because you said age is irrelevant, but then you said you wouldn't go under 25.
Uh-oh. Got her.
Like what's wrong with the 24-year-old that's
Gotcha, bitch. Yes, sir.
got his stuff together?
Okay, yeah, I said 25, but yeah, if it's a 24-year-old, but I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go really low because that's not relevant for me, and I know I'm not saying how old I am, but yes, I understand.
Sweetie, we all look. Check this out. I'm not saying how old. She thinks she's being clever and coy. Sweetheart, nobody here thinks you're under the age of 55, so let's just drop the charade here.
Apologise for if you felt I contradicted myself, but yeah, there is a limit, but an upper limit, you could be missing out on a great man or a great woman.
I agree.
Would you date a guy that was 90?
Yeah, you're missing out on a great opportunity.
Gotcha, bitch. There it is. Okay, would you date a guy that was 90? Ugh. Look at her face now. Yeah, see, it's all fun and games until you're the one. Dating somebody, 40 years your senior.
Yeah, like you said.
Yes, the answer is no.
It could be 110, treats me well, just wants to take me out to dinner and have some company.
Stop the cap.
Buy me nice things.
Oh, isn't that cute? She wants a 110-year-old. She wants a 110-year-old sugar daddy. She wants a 110-year-old simp sugar daddy. Well, if a man was 110 years old and could afford to take you to dinner every night and buy you gifts, he would probably do it for a woman substantially younger than you. Let's just call a spade, guys.
But you still have to be respectful.
Yeah.
You still have to be respectful. This woman is 55 years old and single, still making demands. You can't make this shit up, man.
I agree with you to a certain extent, given I think ultimately it comes down to your intention. So if your intention is to actually have a family, I think there's a biological clock that we can't necessarily overlook, and you may say that there's also, there are options, adoption and so forth, but not every man may necessarily want to take that route. So my response was from the fact of my version of a
Oh, I like how old boy's got the Purple Rain shirt on. Shout out to him.
commitment where I am in my life. I need to be with a woman that I can have a family with. And with my age currently speaking, the higher up I go, I guess if I want more than one child or so forth, that kind of has to be accelerated. And as a man, you've got to kind of plan these things out, but the planning also takes time. So, there's a point when, I'm sure it's different for different women, but from what I've learned in school, there's a point when women can't.
Bless these guys. These guys are scared. These guys, and again, these guys are scared to really say what they mean because they're outnumbered with women. The women outnumber them. They're afraid that the women are going to jump down their throat. I guess it happens.
Can't provide families.
Oops. Scotty B with the $10 super chat says, F the haters. Absolutely. Agree 100%. Alvin Sam with the $2 super chat says, plenty of fish in the sea. What makes her special? Trick question. Let's continue.
No, I understand that, and I have a very calm point of view when it comes to children. I'm not going to go there now. I am a support person to my best friend who's a foster carer, and I've seen the value of fostering and adoption. There are thousands of children in this country who would
This is so funny. This woman is really, really trying to sell herself. I'm 55, at least. Can't have any children, but you can still meet a woman in her advanced years and share a lifelong friendship or lifelong companionship. And if you want kids, don't sweat it. We can just go adopt kids. We can just go to the foster system.
benefit from having an amazing, loving home. And when you look at things differently, this is just my personal point of view, and it's no attack on anyone here, but when you look at the children that don't actually have a home, and you've got everyone popping out these babies, I get it. People say, oh, I want blood. It has to be my blood, my child.
Yes, sweetheart. That's kind of important. When a man wants a legacy, he wants his children to belong to him. What she is attempting to do is she is attempting to minimize a man's biological desire to pass on his genes. This is crazy talk. Well, listen, I know you want to pass on your genes and all. I know biologically that's what you want to do, but if you want to wipe up my wrinkled ass, we can adopt kids.
Oh, hell no.
Ridiculous.
But
Devin, if you would, Devin, bring me the second set of Beats by Dre headphones. They're in Studio C. They're in the new Studio C. If you would bring those up for me, I'd appreciate it.
if you actually look into it, whether it's adoption or foster, okay, fostering's different for a short time, but adoption, it doesn't matter whether it's blood or not.
The problem is there's a lot of problems that come with adoption. Like there's a lot of issues. Like if you don't get the kid before the age of 3, like it's fully developed, and any issues that it had before the age of 3, a lot of times you can't stop.
Nope.
And I'm not like against adoption, but I just think sometimes it can. A lot of people aren't aware of how hard it is when they go into it. And this is as someone, like I have 3 adopted siblings.
Yes.
No, I totally understand that, and I have friends who adopted children as well. But also, it depends on the type of person you are, what parent you will be.
What does any of this, again, let me just go back to the original question. What does any of this have to do with dating older women? The reason why she's bringing this up, the reason why we are even talking about this, is because she is at least 55 years old and can't have children. What she is trying to do is she's trying to indirectly insinuate that she has every bit as much value as the 25-year-old with the blonde hair sitting right next to Donovan, who is looking like...
Really, nigga?
That she is as a viable option as she is. No, you're not. She's going all into the, there's benefits to adoption and this and that and a third. No. Oh, hell no. No, sir. No, sir. Secondhand Truth says she's wearing Depends right now. She probably is.
The type of child, there's so many different variations.
It's just kind of like if a guy could avoid that headache of like you'd have to find the kid.
Thank you.
Hopefully it's like coming out of a not too bad situation.
Thank you.
And like it's really expensive too in the U.S. I don't know how it is here, but you have to pay $10,000+ per kid.
So I'm gonna pay $10,000 to adopt a kid, so I can have a lifelong companionship with a woman at the age of 55.
Nope.
It's like, why would he go through that headache?
No,
he wouldn't.
You don't do that here. Adoption goes through, obviously,
Oh, is it free here?
It is free. You go through your local council or adoption service.
This is unbelievable. So the fact that adoption is free. Oh, you know what? Well, now that she mentions it, now that I know that adoption is free in the UK, I was never ever going to date a woman who was at least 55 years old as a 45-year-old man, but you know what? I think I've changed my mind. Free adoption? Sign me up.
And you don't have to pay for that.
No, but interject, you do have to make a certain amount of money to provide for the child. You're not allowed to just adopt a child with no money.
Oh, of course.
So well, ideally, you're financially stable anyway for any child. If you're going to get pregnant or you're going to adopt, money is in the equation because you have to provide a living.
So it's a complete deterrent for going for older women, for guys, I guess.
But what about the women that like like scenario, like you find like your dream girl, you're in love with her, and then you find out like she can't provide a family for you, no matter how old she is, then you have to go through adoption anyway. So why is like age a hard cap?
Yes. Oh, he's that guy. Remember what we talked about, probabilities versus possibilities? His question was, well, hey, if you get with a woman who can't have kids, you're going to have to go through adoption anyway. Okay, you're right. But a woman that is younger is far more likely to have the ability to have children than a woman who is older. What the fuck is this guy talking about? This dude wants to point out the gross exception to the rule to prove the rule. Come on, man.
I think it's just like likelihood. I mean, like geriatric pregnancy starts at 35.
There it is.
90% of your eggs are gone by 30.
Yeah.
And so it's just like if you get a 25-year-old or 22-year-old, it's less likely to happen.
Thank you.
But there's still that chance that she's like completely infertile.
That's very true. There's still that chance. But again, we're talking about possibilities versus probabilities. Is it possible that a 22-year-old is infertile? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's not probable. Is it possible that a 32-year-old is infertile? It's possible and probably 50-50. But when we move up another decade or so, like, say, 55, it is impossible for this woman to have a kid. Again, this man is arguing like a female. He's arguing like a female. He wants to point out the exception. He wants to point out the possibilities and try. Well, you know what? The 22-year-old girl that I'm with, that I might want to start a family with, she might be infertile, so let me date this 55-year-old smoke show.
You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. In my eyes, like
It's a
age
chance,
shouldn't
though,
matter on that.
Yeah, right,
Exactly.
it's a chance, though. It's like if you're going for an older woman, then it's more likely. So
It's kind of
why
like
waste your time?
It's kind of like, okay, if you pick two roads on the highway and one has an accident every week and one is usually fine, like which one are you going to pick?
Yeah.
There you
go. Okay, you two.
Thank you.
Okay. Can you repeat the question?
So how old are you? So you're 20.
Yeah.
And what's the age range you date?
So younger, by 2 years, older, 3 max.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, 3 max. Because stay with me, I'm just doing long term. So yeah.
Okay.
I'm 28. If I'm taking it serious and looking for something long term, then my market would be 21 to 32. If I'm just outside in the field having fun, then 20 to 50.
I just noticed something. This woman right here, it appears that she is wearing headphones, right? I mean, there's the wire, but now the question becomes, where exactly are the headphones? Like, where exactly are the headphones? Let's rewind it.
I'm 28.
Yeah, there it is.
3 max. Because stay with me, I'm just doing long term. So yeah.
Watch. Right here.
I'm 28. If I'm taking it serious.
How the hell did she put the headphones under her hair?
I'm looking for something long term, then my market would be 21 to 32. If I'm just outside in the field having fun.
Yeah, clearly that is a hair hat. Clearly that's a hair hat. This bitch put on the headphones and then the wig. I will never understand why black women wear fake hair. I don't, dude, sisters. I don't understand it. I don't understand it, y'all. I really don't. I don't get it. Fortunately, my two sisters, they wear their natural hair. Long, beautiful hair. My mom, not so much. That doesn't surprise me. She's in Atlanta. But I don't know why. Anyway, let's move on.
Then 20 to 50, I'd say.
In the field.
Outside, shooting shots.
What's the oldest that you've dated, Beard Gang?
46 and counting.
49.
What was that like?
Interesting. So I was like 21 at the time. So
Yeah.
it was a good experience.
Does the woman feel different at that age? A lot different.
Yeah.
Of course
How?
she does.
I don't know because I'm not that age yet, so I want to know.
I don't know if it was because I was young, but I'd say it's just a level of assurance, you know.
I've kind of dated around that age, and I would say they're just more interesting. Like, they have a lot more life experience, and it's a different kind of relationship.
Oh, sweetie, there is a big difference between a 20 to 21-year-old dating a 49-year-old woman and a 21-year-old woman dating a 49-year-old man. Again, here comes the inverse projection.
I like your guide, I like your mentor more.
Nah, for me, it was more like cougar vibes. She was trying to mentor me. She was just taking advantage of a 21-year-old.
Yeah.
And what was your benefit in that? Just the reassurance, you felt like mummy. Mummy's here, but she's a different type of mummy.
It was bonus points, isn't it? It's just like something to go and tell your friends about at the time. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
No, I've done that.
Go ahead.
Oh, I've done that before as well. Like when I was in my early 20s, I went out with I was seeing a woman who was like mid-30s, like maybe like my age now, like 34. And for me, the benefit was she was so emotionally mature and she knew herself, and there was like this confidence in her. And like
He had me until he said confidence. Older women are not confident. They're just more competent. Like, let's not mistake competence for confidence. Women are notoriously insecure. They are notoriously insecure, and it does not matter what age. Paulina, what was her name? Periskova or something like that? The bitch is like 57, and she's all over the internet telling anyone who will listen about how she feels like she's invisible. This woman was one of the most beautiful supermodels in the history of the world, but she has hit the wall. And by the way, she actually looks pretty good for a 57-year-old, right? She still looks pretty good, but she doesn't look like she did when she was 27. And so now she is going absolutely crazy because it's like men see right through me. That's what she says. They see right through me. Right? You think Miss Porskova is confident? No, she's just more competent.
I wouldn't say I'm the most. I find it difficult to deal with just insecurities and the idea of making your insecurities something someone else has to wrestle with, and that's just a part of a relationship.
That's baggage,
we all
baby.
do it, but I feel like with her, she had dealt with it, wrestled with it, and had coping mechanisms to like pull her through it. And there was so much I learned from her in that regard of like, okay, this is what it looks like when you kind of take care of your own shit. Can I swear? Okay, yeah, when you take.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's much too late. Unfortunately, it's much too late. Right? Devin, listen, man, Devin will be the first to tell you she is very, very lucky to have met me. She is very, 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 very lucky to have met me. I've improved her life in every conceivable way. She looks better. She's more competent. She has more money. She drives a better car. She wears better clothes. She's treated better. And on and on and on. She's healthier than she's ever been in her life. I met her when she was 39, guys. And the reason why she's lucky she met me is because she was going nowhere fast. She was going nowhere fast. And it's funny, if you ask Devin the question, like, where would you be right now had you never met Donovan? She will shudder at the thought. She will shudder at the thought. Where would she be? She'd probably be at the bottom of the bottle of vodka, maybe at some random dude's house. Again, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I love Devin very much, but she ain't no snowflake, y'all. She ain't no unicorn. She is who she is now because of me and only me. She had to put in the work. But I gave her that direction. And normally, men like myself would not look twice at women like her. But she had a really nice ass and unbelievable legs. And she treated me well. She ended up beating out the 22-year-old I was also dating at the time. So shout out to her. That being said, just to go back to it, Devin considers herself very, very lucky that a guy like me chose to deal with a woman like her. Guys, it don't work that way for the vast majority of women. If you do not have your life sorted by the age of 39, it's over. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. And I don't care whose fault it was. You might have come out of a bad circumstance. Okay, cry me a frickin' river, man. Life ain't fair. Life isn't fair.
Care of your own shit. And so it was kind of like, it was a really good experience in that regard for me. I think for her, it was like...
The reason I keep making a face is because I have a scab just inside my nostril, and I know if I pick it, my eyes are going to water.
One question.
So I'm trying to stretch it out little by little. I know too much information, but hey, I try to be as transparent as possible. What do you want?
So, yeah, I completely
why
agree
didn't
with
that
you.
relationship work out? Like, why did you end up leaving?
Oh, because like I think
she was old.
Like I think for her there was a bit of a play aspect to it. Like she didn't take me that seriously.
Oh.
And to be fair, I wasn't to be taken seriously at that age or time. But we vibed really well, and I think even just the idea of what a woman can contribute to your life outside of her being beautiful and looking good, like just being stimulated mentally, like by her and her life experiences, like you said. Like it kind of shaped what I look for dating going forward.
Can I say something quickly?
What? And I agree. I agree with what he said to an extent. But guys, what you're going to have to understand is that there are costs to everything. There are costs to everything. If you want to date young, hot women, you're going to have to deal with young, hot women problems. Young, hot women don't come for quote-unquote free. Young, hot women have options. They have attitude. They're flaky. They're notoriously insecure. They're notoriously immature. I mean, again, listen, there's no such thing in this day and age anymore as a young, hot woman who's also mature. So if you're looking for a woman who has maturity, blah, 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 guess what? That woman is going to be a little bit older. Probably a lot older. Young, attractive women in this day and age who are also mature, they're almost non-existent. We have our culture to blame, but it is what it is. It is what it is. There are costs to everything. Ladies, if you want to date a high-value man, then guess what? You're going to have to pay the high-value man cost. You're going to have to stay hot. You're going to have to stay fine. You're going to have to stay fine, man. You're going to have to deal. You're going to have to deal with women hitting on your man. And if your man loves you, he won't let you find out he's smashing other chicks, but that's always going to be in the back of your mind. Nothing ever comes for free, guys. Nothing ever comes for free. There's no such thing as a guy who has the young, hot virginal or the young, hot 21-year-old who's also mature. That very rarely happens, especially here in the West.
Oh, God.
I'll let you go, Mel.
So basically, as a woman grows older, maybe past the age of like 26, 27, they start to have a better mentality, less insecurity, less headaches, a bit more maybe grounded and a bit more self-sufficient when it comes to emotional stability.
Yes. At what cost, Donalva? At what cost? Let me go back and let me just go back and take this one by one.
Can I say something quickly? Oh, go on.
And remember what the rule is anytime a woman says, can I say something, you already know what's about to come out of their mouth is some bullshit. So here we go.
I'll let you go, Mel.
So basically, as a woman grows older, maybe past the age of like 26, 27, they start to have a better mentality, less insecurity, less headaches.
Less headaches. Nope. It depends on her baggage. And the only reason why older women are more mature is because their options have dwindled. That's it. Guys, I've said this for years. As soon as a female figures out that men want to have sex with her, the maturation process stops immediately. This is why 23 and 24-year-olds still act like they're 14 and 15. That's when they figured out men were looking at them in that way. They only start to mature again when they have to pay for their own drinks, when they're not getting the same looks from the same caliber of guy. And the reason they mature is because, well, now it's a necessity. Men are no longer willing to, men need more from you than just the way you look. So now you're having to excel in other areas, develop in other areas, so that you can make yourself a little more viable for a long-term relationship.
A bit more maybe grounded and a bit more self-sufficient when it comes to emotional stability. And yet we're trying to say that it's easier, maybe, perhaps, or better for men to go for 19-year-olds.
Yes, it is. It is better for men to go for 19-year-olds. Especially if he wants children. Look, check this out. You want to know something? Fuck it. Even if you don't want children, guys, it's not a crime. Guys, let me make one thing clear to you. Never ever apologize or make excuses for going after and dating younger women. Never. What Donalva is trying to do here, she is trying to shame male sexuality. Myron says this all the time on Fresh and Fit. Women can talk about what they want all the time. No matter how delusional their standards are, their expectations are, nobody ever challenges them. Nobody ever says there's anything wrong with it, and there's nothing wrong with it. Women have standards for a reason. But as soon as a man talks about what he wants out of a relationship, we're now demonized. And it almost always starts with the age. Well, if you go after 18 and 19-year-olds and you're a predator, I'm sorry. If there are two consenting adults engaging in a sexual relationship, there's nothing predatory about that.
Women over 30 generally are just way more calm.
Yeah.
Anyone over 30 is way more
calm. Well, I'm excited about turning 30.
Yeah. So
again, any woman over 30 is way more calm. Okay. That's absolutely right, but she's calm because she has to be. Case in point. Right now, me and my guys on the Sharpe stream side, we are watching, reacting, and breaking down a dating show called Love for the Ages. The premise is this. You have three married couples. Both the husband and wife, they're both in their 40s. The three husbands, they go to stay in a house with a bunch of 20-year-old women, and the wives go and stay in a house with a bunch of 20-year-old men in their 20s. Guess what? The women who are 39, 42, and 47 respectively, they're acting like teenagers. They act like teenagers. The drama, the backbiting. Women grow old, but they never grow up. And as soon as a woman knows she has options, as soon as a woman realizes that the men outnumber her, as soon as a woman realizes that more men are competing for her than options she has available, they go right back to being their 14, 15-year-old gossipy selves. Women are on their best behavior when they are competing for men. They are on their worst behavior when men compete for them. And by on their worst behavior, they revert all the way back to their 14 and 15-year-old selves. Guys, that's why today's dating market is a shit show. Because women have this false sense of abundance. They think that there's always going to be another man. They don't realize that the older they get, the shorter their odds become of locking down a man of value. But because in this day and age, our culture tells women, just an abundance of men. You have options, girl. Manifest it, girl. And because they have this mentality that men are always competing for them, they are on their worst behavior. Why else do you think Western women are so poorly behaved? Because they are under the false illusion that most men are competing for them. No, a lot of men might be competing for you. A lot of men might be competing for you. But at some point, your options are going to run dry. Remember that comedian, I forgot what her name was. She's a black lady. Dude, great ass. She was joking around. She's like, some dude came up and hollered at me, say, hey, can I get your number? She said, no. She said, I rejected him because, well, I thought there was going to be other men. Then the pandemic happened. Right? She was self-aware enough to understand that the reason she rejected that dude is because, well, there was always going to be another man. That's a mentality that modern women have. As far as they're concerned, men are a dime a dozen. Men are a dime a dozen. Men of value are a dime a dozen. That's why they're poorly behaved when men compete for them.
To answer your question, I actually don't think it's just a women thing. I think it's everyone. I think as you develop and you grow, you become more sure of yourself.
So now I'm ripe for the picking type of thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, no. Donalva, you are not ripe for the picking, sweetheart. Donalva, you are 30. You have hit the wall.
For some people. I'm not saying everyone in their 20s is immature or not ready or whatever, but I think generally speaking, in your 20s, you're trying to figure it out. In your 30s, you know who you are.
Because you know yourself and you've learned to like yourself and you've learned what you're struggling with.
The same does not apply to women. Look at Donalva's false confidence. Look at her false confidence. She's like, yeah, I'm ripe for the picking. In other words, she thinks she's in her sexual prime. Donalva, you are a fucking headache. You are a truck stop version of a wannabe Rihanna. You are not ripe for the picking, sweetheart. You're not. And again, this is why modern women are so poorly behaved. Donalva sitting there like the cat that ate the canary. Yeah, I'm ripe for the picking. No, sweet cheeks. The rules that apply to men do not apply to women.
Yeah.
I think when you reach that age, you just had so much experience. And I'm just saying, like, as for me, I don't want to experience your experience. So I wouldn't take anyone over that age seriously.
Woo! There it is. There it is. Finally, somebody grabbed his Y chromosome.
Because you come with a lot of baggage. And me personally, if I'm going to take you seriously, and if you're like 20 years plus more than me, you had a lot of experience that you're going to compare me to. So if I lack in one field, you can be like, in the back of your mind, you'll be like, oh, but when I was dating so-and-so, he used to buy me all these gifts. I'm used to getting these. So it's like, I'm not really trying to go through all that.
It makes sense. How old are you again?
I'm 20.
Yeah, see, like when I was your age, I used to feel guilty. Like if I was dragging it on for too long, because I'd feel like, you know what, I can't see this long term because of the age gap. And then I feel guilty like dragging it on because I feel like I'm wasting your time.
Do you guys feel like older women, okay, I had a guy tell me once that if he dated a girl under the age of 25, he didn't have to worry as much about that because she wasn't like dying for commitment. But if she was over the age of 25, like they want to settle down, like they want to lock you down quicker.
Well, that's because that's the necessity, right? And again, Pearl is mistaking the word desperation. I don't think she used desperation, but women who are young and beautiful, there needs to be a sense of urgency. That's not desperation. That is a rightful sense of urgency.
Would you say that's true?
Yeah, 100%.
No.
All right.
Same, no.
Yeah, but
I'm asking the guys because they date women. Guys. Yeah, wait. I'm asking the guys because they date women. So
I mean, to be fair, I think when it comes to older women, right? And I just think from my experience, like when I
look at Donalva now. Look at Donalva now. You don't look so confident now, do you? Don't look so confident now, do you?
Like now, I date long term seriously, but obviously, you know, back in the day, your boy had a little sprinkle around the field. But one thing
At what age?
I was sprouting very early from 16 onwards. But one thing I realized about these older women is that it's kind of, they're more on the, I don't see it on the side where they take it serious, because once they see a younger guy, they don't usually see me as a serious candidate as for a long-term relationship. They just want some quick action. And they just want to feel young again.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, like, I know when I used to get in those situations, the fact that since I was so young and I guess the way how I would compliment them, make their body feel like there's a temple. They live off of that stimulation because I'm overly praising them in such a sense. So the fact that I made them feel younger, they know that I'm.
Oh, so this guy knows how to run old hoe game. This guy knows how to run old hoe game, right? If you're dealing with Latinas, what did we call it? Univision telenovela game. This guy clearly knows how to run game on old hoes. Okay, well, there we go.
I'm not going to get this as a long-term relationship, and I made that clear from the start. But they just really enjoyed the fun they was getting. Let me put it like that.
And I think the common denominator of every story is that you were young and in your 20s, in your early 20s. So I think that shows a level of manipulation was maybe there. Like, they know that you're young and naive and you'll, like, latch on because it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. This is another reason why men prefer younger women, because they are young and naive. Younger, naive women can be shaped and molded into what you want and need them to be. This is why, and again, guys, I say this all the time. Modern women, their default setting is self-destruction. They're terrible, dude. They're terrible at mate selection. They are. They spend their 20s dating who they want rather than who they need. So if a woman makes it to 21 and she doesn't have a long-term prospect, at some point,
she belongs to the streets.
This is why men who are looking for families, or this is why men who are just looking for companionship, want younger women. Because younger women are not as experienced. They are naive. That is a good thing. You want to know what naivety is? Naivety is a very feminine trait. Anyone who is naive is looked at as feminine. And this is men and women. Naive men, not attractive. Naive women, absolutely attractive. But then, if you say, well, I want a woman that's naive. Oh my God, you're a predator. Listen, man, women are naive. They're not that goddamn naive. Like, women understand what their sexual currency is. But by the same token, if by the age of 21 you've traveled all over the world, you've had a sugar daddy or two, you've been in Lambos, private jets, etc., what could I possibly have to offer her? Unless I'm Andrew Tate. And even if I were Andrew Tate, a girl like that's going to be status quo. A girl with too much life experience at such a young age, nothing ever impresses these women. Nothing ever impresses these women. This is why men typically go for younger women. This is how it goes.
You think it's a manipulation?
I think
it's more energy.
No, not manipulation, but like they know you're young and you're like you're
impressionable.
You'll enjoy the validation of being with them almost.
What's wrong with having an impressionable young woman? It's like women shame men for wanting feminine traits. Men want women who are young, naive, and impressionable. And the reason why we want them impressionable is so that we can impart our wisdom onto them. Contrary to popular belief, not every man who dates younger women is looking to be a predator or looking to manipulate her. No. Women don't know what the hell they want or need. And a woman who does not have a strong, capable leader in her life is a woman who is rudderless. And a woman who is rudderless is going to run right into the Sausage Express.
Like,
yes, Telemundo novella game. That's exactly right.
It's like no one said, oh, when I was in my late 20s or early 30s, I was with someone that was like 50 because you know yourself better and you know that that's not something you could maybe commit to.
So
she keeps comparing men and women. Devin says, women act like all men are sadists, which is misandry if I've ever seen it. Yeah, that's true.
Who has manipulated, him or her?
Not manipulated, but like you as your younger self, you don't know yourself as well, maybe. So like you're kind of like, oh, like this older person likes me, like, oh, like that's cool. Like
I think that might be slightly different. Because I think when in the woman's perspective, if she's the younger one and she's dating an older guy, maybe.
Yeah, maybe from my perspective.
I know that when I was in that stage, trust me, I just know I wanted to release what I had to release.
You knew the deal. I didn't feel manipulated.
Thank you.
Personally.
I have a question for you guys. Is it wrong for, what age do I want to do? A 32-year-old man to date an 18-year-old?
No.
Nope.
No.
I judge him for it.
Okay.
No.
All right. If anyone said, raise your hand if you think yes.
All right.
Of course, Donalva thinks it's wrong.
I'm going to raise my hand.
No, I need a yes or no. Yes or no. Come on, you got to pick one.
Everyone grows up at different ages.
Okay.
So we got 2 out of the 4 women who think that it's wrong for a 32-year-old man to date an 18-year-old woman.
Okay.
It depends what she looks like.
What?
Depends what she looks like.
She looks, I don't know, an 18. Some of them look like they're 18 when they're 13.
Oh, no. That's trouble.
But,
You know it's true on TikTok.
But you kind of got to put it in context because you're like, how old did you say he was?
He's 32. She's 18.
All right, at 32. When you sit down with an 18-year-old, what are you talking about? Like,
There we go. When you're sitting down with an 18-year-old, what are you talking about? Probably not much. Probably not much. But that's the trade-off. That's the trade-off. If you're a 32-year-old man or a 42-year-old man and you're dating an 18-year-old, what you're going to have to understand is, yes, she is young, she's impressionable, she's naive, she hasn't been ran through yet, or at least not as much as women in her 20s. That's great. But what you're also going to have to understand is you two are not going to have that much in common, at least not yet. You won't have much to talk about. You won't have much to talk about because of the age gap. Guess what? That's one of the costs of being with a younger woman. That's one of the costs of being with a younger woman. You cannot expect to be with a woman who is 18, naive, inexperienced, not ran through yet, but also be able to carry on a conversation about things that you're interested in. No. However, over the course of time, you will develop habits and traits. The two of you will develop habits and traits. You will have experiences together that you can draw on and then talk about. But that seems to be the shaming language. Well, if you're a 32-year-old man dating an 18-year-old, what are you two going to talk about? Well, you can talk about plenty. Just because you guys aren't in the same generation doesn't mean that you can't have a conversation with her. And again, I don't need my girlfriend to stimulate me mentally. I don't need that. I got my boys for that. I got my job for that. Right? I just want a woman I can get along with. I don't need to have long, drawn-out conversations about our hopes and fears and feelings and all this deep shit. No. Devin's a year older than I am. We very, very rarely talk about the deep stuff. Every once in a while, we'll talk about some things that are existential every once in a while. Usually after we've had a gummy or two. Those conversations get pretty interesting. But outside of that, like, everyone likes to talk about, well, who are you going to have deep, in-depth conversations with? Are we really having deep, in-depth conversations that much? No. As long as you get along, we're good.
Like, what is she, like, no, for real, like, generally, what is she offering you? Like,
youth. She's fertile. She's naive. She's impressionable. She's trainable. That's what she's offering you. That's what she's offering you. This guy is acting like an 18-year-old woman has nothing to offer a 32-year-old man. Oh, she's got plenty to offer. Like the possibility of strong, healthy children. My mom and dad got married at 16 and 17 years old. My mom had me at 18. She had me at 18. She had my sister at 19. She had my brother and sister at 20, had my youngest brother at 23. She had 5 kids by the age of 23, and all of us are big, strapping. We are big, strapping people. Me and my brothers are all big, strapping, healthy individuals. My brother is 6'4". I'm 6'2". My youngest brother is 5'11". My youngest brother is yoked. None of us have any sort of underlying family diseases. We are all very healthy. We come from a good stock. And one of the many reasons why we don't have any major health problems that are hereditary, at least not that we know of, is because our mother had us when she was young. Her eggs were healthy. Her eggs were young. My dad's sperm was young, healthy. That's just how that works. So what can an 18-year-old offer you? She can offer you the possibility of having good, strong children, good, strong offspring. Fuck out of here.
I mean, if she's okay, I mean,
So
you want to
A uterus to have a baby.
I feel, yeah, you're just talking about one dimension. And
You're just talking about one dimension. Did you hear what he just said? You're just talking about one dimension. Oh, boy. Gentlemen, what you guys just heard is male sign language. It's only kids, it's just one dimension. Really? Okay. Kids is just one dimension. True enough. That's a big fucking dimension. That's a big fucking dimension. You want to have kids with Miss Geriatric over here? Even if she could have kids. Dude, your kid is going to have a slew of medical problems. A 55-year-old passing a kid? You kidding me? That's a pretty goddamn big dimension. The only reason why men deal with women is to either have sex with them or have families with them. And if getting with an 18-year-old, if that's the one dimension you're looking at, then good for you. This guy's an idiot.
And I look at you and I'm like, all right, you as a man.
Let's say you have stuff in common. Let's say like maybe you're into the same stuff. Maybe they're
even if you're not into the same stuff, Pearl. Even if you're not into the same stuff. Listen, man, just because a woman is 18 years old and she's a little bit immature and she's a little bit naive doesn't mean she couldn't carry on an intelligent conversation. Doesn't mean she's just, I mean, it's not like she's retarded. They're acting like 18-year-old women don't know how to read or write. No. 18-year-old women are plenty intelligent, trust me.
They're both gamers, I don't know.
Okay, and that's that's what off the top of my head, I'm like, it's not in of itself wrong, but I do raise an eyebrow at it because I do wonder, like
you question the guy a little bit.
Yeah, you question the guy a little bit. Yeah, you want to know why? You question the guy a little bit, dude. He likes having a young, impressionable, naive girlfriend. There is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Why are you dating an 18-year-old? Because she's young, she's hot, and she's naive. She's not a fucking headache. That's why. You can raise your eye at me all you want to. That's just more for me.
Question the guy a little bit. Like, what do you like? Because, all right, and he's seriously dating, or is he just having fun? Like in your scenario,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. If I want to date an 18-year-old woman for fun, then that's what the fuck I'll do. I don't have to, dude, guys, listen, you don't have to justify, you do not have to justify your dating options to anyone. You don't have to do that. Now, I justify my dating options because I'm an influencer. I have certain standards that I need upheld and adhered to. My fiance adheres to those standards. If there ever comes a time where she does not adhere to those standards, she's out the fucking door. And she knows it. Wedding or not. Right? That's the reason why I tell you guys why I'm marrying Devin. But the average rank and file man who doesn't have a social media following or YouTube channel, you don't have to justify your dating options to anybody. What do you want with an 18-year-old? What do you want with an 18-year-old girl? Well, number one, she's a woman. She's in the age of majority, so she is no longer a minor. Number two, she's young, she's hot, and she's naive. There's nothing wrong with that.
Let's say seriously dating.
Okay, so you've looked at this 18-year-old.
He's looking for a wife.
All right, cool. And so I'm here and I'm like, so in this 18-year-old who is like a few years off from being a child, you're like...
Oh, here we fucking go. This 18-year-old who's a few years off from being a child. Fair enough. But they're not a child. 18-year-old women are not children. Here we are. More shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. This is a male shaming other males for being attracted to younger women. Unbelievable.
Really, nigga?
Like, in you, I see a partner and someone I want to build and someone I want to model my potential daughters after. All of that really. And I'm like, bro, like, off an 18-year-old? You got that?
Kind of depends.
Yes, nigga. Yes. Off a goddamn 18-year-old. You're goddamn right. And even if I don't want a fucking wife and kids and all that good stuff, guess what? You can look at me any old kind of way you want to, bruv. We are both consenting adults. You can give me the side eye all you want to, bruh. I ain't doing nothing wrong. Gentlemen, do not see, this is the kind of guy you could not trust. This is the kind of guy that you can't trust to be your friend. This is the kind of guy that would sell you up the river for a sniff of pussy. Real talk. This guy's sitting here. Yeah. Roderick Thomas says he's pandering to the women. Pandering to the women. Bruv. And I'm saying bruv because, it's British and all. Bruv, you don't look more attractive to women by pandering to them.
Depends though. If she's like someone that's been like working out doing like living by herself, independent, then you kind of, because a lot of women mature a lot quicker as well. Like,
but I don't think they mature.
Like you could have an 18-year-old that literally acts like a 25-year-old. You wouldn't even know anything.
Guess what? Even if you had an 18-year-old who acted like a 15-year-old, guess what? That's okay. You want to know why that's okay? Because she's 8-fucking-teen. That's why. When a woman turns 18 years old, she is no longer a minor. She is now in the age of majority. She is an adult. If an 18-year-old woman goes out and commits red rum, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? She is tried as a what class? An adult. Why is she tried as an adult? Because she's an adult. It's funny how we use this term interchangeably. This 18-year-old girl, nope. At 18, she's not a girl. She's a woman.
Completely.
Yeah. No,
so it depends, innit? Like some 18-year-olds are in uni.
Yeah,
and they're basically kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's like, so you're right.
It kind of depends on the situation.
That's why I struggle to put my hand up on that. It does depend. Yeah, but it's like, it's because sometimes you're like, oh, she's 18 and she's in uni and she's only lived with her parents and she's coming out and you're visiting her dorm in uni.
That's all mad.
Ain't nobody visiting her dorm room. I'm not visiting her dorm room. I'm sending her a text message. Hey, I'm outside. Oh, which car is yours? The matte black Porsche. Fuck out of here, man.
Big man. Like, I'm just like...
Maybe she's 18, she wants a family. Maybe she's 18.
Oh! Uh-oh. Maybe she's 18 and wants a family. Or maybe she's 18 and just likes dating older guys. Man. Secondhand truth. I'm sorry. Whoa, wait a minute. Savon says, correct. Higher class guest at my job be looking surprised. Wait a minute. Okay. So Dre Raven says, what potential daughters will you get out of a 55-year-old dude? Right? Vaughn said, correct. Higher class guest at my job be looking surprised. Dre Raven says, exactly. Being able to carry on a conversation will benefit you professionally too. Secondhand Truth says, yep, if you can't carry simple conversations, you're the problem, not the age gap. Thank you. Thank you. These dudes are sitting here acting like if an 18-year-old woman wants to impress a guy who's 35, she's going to do her best not to act like she's some 15-year-old bubblegum high school girl. No, she's going to try to act more mature.
She wants to be a mother.
Okay, but that's still the same dimension we're talking about. Looks and fertility. That's it? That's
Yes. Bruv. That's it. Looks and fertility. That is a woman's two primary agencies. A woman's two primary agencies are her youth and her beauty. Her youth being fertility. Thank you. This guy, it's funny. This guy's trying to shame men. This guy's trying to shame men for dating an 18-year-old woman because she looks good and she's fertile. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
That's what you pick your partner on?
I said they got something in common. That's what I said.
They don't even have to have anything in common, y'all.
I said they got something in common.
They got something in common. I just struggle with the idea that an 18-year-old girl in uni is stimulating your mind and spirit.
Dude, stimulating your mind and spirit. See, this guy, you know what? This guy expects too much of women. This is the kind of guy that expects too much of women because he's been told that women are so much more than just their looks and age. Well, women can be much more than their looks and age if they get with the right man. If they get with the right man. This guy expects way too much of women. He expects way too much of women. He wants a woman to stimulate your soul. And dude, I don't need all that. I don't need all that. I need you to stimulate my cock and balls, wash and fold my clothes, be fit, feminine, friendly, and faithful. Dre the Dream says books stimulate my mind and spirit. Exactly. Exactly. Fuck out of here, man.
If she is, I kind of question.
I just think when I was 18.
Miami J is in the house. Said, when my parents met, my dad was 32 with 2 kids. My mom was 16. They married 2 years later. Healthy kids and successful marriage. There you go. It works.
Versus 21, I wasn't that different. I'm just thinking mentally, I don't think I was that different at 18 from 21.
I don't think there is that much difference.
Yeah, and no one would really bat an eye at 21.
No,
Thank you.
I moved out when I was 18 and I was working, so I was pretty much a full-grown adult at 18.
All right, Denelva, tell me why. Why is it no? And then you go next.
Why is a problem for an older man? I think it's really down to the different stages of emotional maturity and growth. When you're 18, although yes, you can be mature and this and that, but you've not experienced the 14 years extra of life that he has experienced.
Oh my God. The 14 extra years of life. And what experiences are we talking about? What experiences are we talking about? Huh? What experiences are we talking about? Anytime a woman says, I need to experience more, she's only talking about dick. She's only talking about dick. And that's exactly the reason why. This is exactly the reason why men like younger women. Because she has 14 years less on the Sausage Express than women his age. This is unbelievable. Anytime a woman talks about, women who are older have experience, the only experience they're talking about is getting dicked down. And an 18-year-old woman, an 18-year-old young woman at the dawn of her sexual prime without direction, dude, she will get absolutely ran through. Absolutely ran through. Be a dumpster fire. I don't know why this thing doesn't load. There we go.
He has that over you, and I think that it's not about manipulation. It's just about the fact that there'll be a certain moment in both of their lives where you're just going to realize we're not on the same level, we're not in the same frequency, and that's really important.
Same frequency? What exactly do you mean frequency? Again. This is all just bitch babble, the same frequency. I have to wait till we're on. No. This is all bitch babble. for justifying women sleeping around. That's it. That's all this is.
What do you mean in the same? Because a lot of times we use these words. I don't even know what they mean. This in the same frequency.
Oh my God, Don DeMarco Pearl. Dude, I'm going to tell you what. You want to know why Pearl is so good at this stuff? Is because she's a woman. She's a woman. She knows when women are bullshitting her.
At the same frequency, meaning like, okay, when you're now 40, I'm just about to turn 30. In like every 5 years, I feel like every 5 years I go through quite a lot of change. You know, you
do go through quite a lot of change every 5 years. You also go through quite a lot of dick, Donalva. And the more dick you go through, the lower your value is. Every dick a woman takes lowers her value. When women age, it lowers their value. So why in the world would I date? Why in the world would I want to commit to a 28-year-old woman who's been absolutely ran through if I had an option between her and an 18-year-old? Why would I do that? If I'm dating a 28-year-old and an 18-year-old, and I know that I want a relationship, if I'm going to pick that 28-year-old, she better give me a damn good reason to pick her over the 18-year-old. I'll use myself as an example. Oh my goodness. I'll use myself as an example. I met Devin when she was 39. Met her when she was 39 years old. I was dating a 23-year-old by the name of Chrissy. She was younger, she was hotter, she looked better. All that good stuff. Devin ended up beating her out. Would you like to know why? Because all Chrissy had going for her, literally, was just looks. That's it. And I didn't want any kids. Now, here's the thing. I will say this. If I were a man that actually wanted kids, guess what, guys? I would not have chosen Devin. I would have absolutely chosen Chrissy. 100%. Chrissy is young. Dude, Chrissy she was younger, hotter. She could have given me all the kids I wanted. And she actually offered to. You can ask Devin. Right? That's why my situation was just a little bit different. I'm not trying to make myself special. But one of the main reasons I chose Devin over Chrissy is because I didn't want children. The other reasons I picked Devin over Chrissy is because Devin had more agency. She believe it or not, she actually treated me better. She had more utility. And I was at a time in my life where, dude, I had dealt with 18, 19, 20-year-olds. I dealt with them all. I decided, you know what? And you know what? It's interesting. I'll be perfectly honest with you. There was a time when I dated Chrissy where I actually started to entertain thoughts of a long-term relationship. I really did. I said, you know what? If I could just get this girl to know how to cook, because she couldn't cook. Like, she was terrible. I paid $350 for her to take a cooking class. It made not one bit of difference. Why? Because she didn't try. Now, a girl like Chrissy would be perfect for Adam Sosnick. Shout out to Adam. Right? Of course, Adam is the type of dude, he said it himself. Listen, I don't want my girl cleaning toilets. I don't need my girl cooking. I'll pay a maid. I'll pay a cook. I just want a girl to be young, hot, and okay, fine. I'm not Adam Sosnick, y'all. I am not Adam Sosnick. If I'm going to give a woman access to my tiers, my time, energy, attention, and resources, you got to bring more to the table than some PTA. And I don't mean the Parent-Teacher Association, if you catch my drift. You got to be more than a set of tits and a nice ass. You got to be more than arm candy. You got to be more than pre-selection. Me, personally, I needed more than that. Devin offered me a lot more in those ways. This is why I chose her. And again, if I had wanted children, I would have chosen Chrissy. No doubt. I would have chosen her right away. Part of the reason I went with Devin is because I didn't want children. I don't want children, and I did not need the headache. Oh, boy. Very excited. Very excited for tonight. Pardon me. Ooh, that's good. Extremely excited for tonight. I will be back on the lanes tonight for the first time in about a month. Actually, you know what? I have not been on the lanes this year at all. I have not been on the lanes this year at all. I am probably going to shoot a 300 series. It's going to be a struggle for me for a little while. Hopefully we can dig ourselves out of the basement. Hopefully we can dig ourselves out of the basement. We'll see. We'll figure that out. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Donovan Sharpe TSR. I am back on Twitter, thanks to Mr. Musk, at Donovan's Den. Guys, make sure you scoop up my newest free ebook, Dead Bedroom, The Cure for a Sexless Relationship. Let's go to tsracademy.com/free/ plug in your very best email, and the book is yours. That is going to do it for this, the 931st edition of TSR Live. My thanks to all my members, patrons, Sharpe Stream members, and Super Chatters. Have a great Tuesday evening, guys. We'll see you next time.